Okey-doke. Hello everybody, Sword SC2 here yet again with another cast. So this one is going to be a fun one. It was a TvT against Vibe. So if you don't know already, Vibe is a very popular Twitch streamer. He is GM, used to be a professional competitor, but now he takes it a little bit easy, has a very nice stream. And I actually don't know if he was randoming or if he actually selected Terran. So he's going to be opening up with a gas first, and since I'm opening up with a gas first as well, I believe he must have just picked Terran on this day. So I'm going to be throwing out the good luck have funds and going to be opening up everything pretty standard here. So I actually don't know when this game was played, and I actually don't remember too much of what happens in this game as well, as this is a while ago. This map has been in the map pool for quite a while now. And I remember a specific game where somebody tried to do a cheeky build where they tried to mine this out, but they didn't know that each of these mineral fields had like 10 minerals instead of 5, like a lot of the other mineral patch walls have. But yeah, so this is another one of the games where I wasn't really sure if it was the actual streamer. And always good to say hello to chat. Going to be opening up with a single gas expand. And like before, I just kind of open up the stream to see if it's the actual person or not. And then I immediately close it afterwards. Looks like Vibe is going to be a little bit annoying here with his SCV. I'm going to be stopping the SCV production, or the CC production at my natural. Looks like I was sending another SCV to possibly deal with it as well. Reaper is going to be going out, and one thing that I didn't do this game is Scout, which is a lot different than what I currently do. Reapers are going to be engaging each other, doing a little dance, and I actually don't know who wins this. Oh, Vi wins just by a tiny bit, and that's actually a pretty big deal. Going to be following it up with 2 gas, possibly getting my third here, and normally if I lose the Reaper, I would be opening up with a Hellion, and then I get my starport. And since I lost the Reaper, it's always annoying to deal with early pressure. So I asked him if we could do a no rush 20, but it didn't pan out, unfortunately. A couple of Reapers from Viber are going to be coming across the map here. I do have my single Hellion out, but it is definitely not going to be able to deal with the 2 Reapers here, especially if I don't combine it with the Marines that have popped out as well. It looks like I was able to save the SCV and the mule, so they're going to be going back to work at the natural expansion here. Going to be losing that Hellion here as well. Nice pick off from Vibe. Another mule going to be dropped on my natural expansion, just going to be getting some nice income here. Vibe reinforcing with a Hellion, and with only Marines, that's going to be kind of annoying to deal with. Looks like I do pull the SCVs back to my main base, pulling back from the Reaper grenades. The micro has been doing okay so far, and this is just annoying to deal with for the time being, but with the Cyclone out, we should be okay against any form of additional pressure. He should have to pull back once he sees the Cyclone. Oh, still going to be going in and putting in even more pressure. Going to eventually kill off all of my Marines. And in terms of units lost, he's still up by around 200. In the worker tab, we're actually ahead, so it looks like we were producing just slightly better than him in terms of SCVs. The Reapers are going to be coming up into the main base and going to be picking that off with the Cyclone. He does see that I'm following up with 3 racks, which is a pretty big deal. So he knows he needs to be a little bit more defensive. And he already has his 3rd CC up. going to be getting his other barracks here as well. And like I said in the last video, the 3cc, or the early 3 barracks I should say, I'm not really a big fan of now. And actually, Vibe is going to be taking the base near the minerals, and it does look like he's mining it out, so he will eventually be able to get this. I'm When I used to play on this map, I was more of a fan of this base just because of the large distance between your natural expansion and this third. But in TvT, I can see it being nice since you can just place a tank or two up on the high ground and defend your mineral line from things like drops and stuff. And also possible pressure, you could just lift up the CC, pull it back to the high ground tank and things like that. So in the meantime, I'm going to be I actually don't know where my 3C or third CC is, as I am floating like 400 minerals here. Looks like I'm getting ready for my normal push here, and oh, there goes the CC. Do have 3 tanks, 2 ravens, and a cyclone with a handful of marines, like I normally do. And we should be able to put on a good amount of pressure. The problem with the 3 racks, like I said before, this is like the same amount of marines as if you didn't have the 3 racks. I could possibly delay the push a little bit in order to do this attack, but I feel like pushing right when the 2 ravens out is one of the best times. Going to be disabling the couple of tanks here up in the front, but I'm going to be throwing down a couple of auto turrets, which should be able to do a good amount of damage. Looks like I'm really not microing back the ravens, so those are going to be going down. SCVs are going to be pulled from Vibe's side, and they are going to surround the tanks, so he will eventually be able to clear this off. Looks like I completely stopped microing this tank as well. I could have tried to focus fire some of the weak ones. But in terms of workers killed, we killed off a good 10. And in terms of workers, we're slightly ahead as well. With our third CC just finishing, we are in a pretty good spot. So it's all about just not throwing this game, but I'm very good at that, so we'll find out what happens. Because I actually don't know what happened in this game. So it looks like my +1/+1 is on the way. Looks like it's roughly the same time as Vibes, with his stim pack being a little bit later. Getting some combat shields on the way here, and with the sensor tower out on the map, I should know where his third base is. Looks like I'm starting to get a group of units together, and I should be slowly pushing towards his third base, I'd imagine. Not entirely sure. A couple of scouting marines from Vibe are going to see this push coming in, and I don't know what this stim is. I guess I thought the third base could possibly be here, but I was mistaken about that. With this many marines, I really shouldn't be able to do much of anything at this point. Could possibly push into this area, but everything is going to be revealed by the sensor tower, so shouldn't be able to do too much. I am floating a good 1,000 minerals, which is never a good sign. Oh, actually, I guess I started taking this base, and I'm also a fan of that because of the rich Vespine gas geyser on this map. So, just going to be sieging up at the natural expansion. Not being too aggressive here, just being a little bit annoying. Going to be denying a sensor tower here. Vibe is going to be playing a little bit more defensively, and with it I'm able to get into his natural expansion. With a couple of Vikings, he is going to eventually be able to clear this up, but actually I target fire down the orbital command. Vibe does have another base though, so it's not the biggest loss for him either. If I did send these forces a little bit earlier, I might have been able to pick off this command center, but unfortunately I did not. So things are going to be looking kind of bad since Vibe is expanding very, very aggressively here, and I have just now started my 4th CC. And it looks like I actually didn't take the expansion that I mentioned, but Anyway, Marines are going to be getting nice surrounds on my tanks. I'm going to eventually siege up, but it is super, super late after losing all my Marines here. Vibe just, it looks like he has too much here. And, we were in a really good spot earlier in the game, but, with a couple of bad sacrifices, we do just, not quite have enough to defend. So I think when I was dropping behind here, focusing down the command center and losing all the forces didn't really justify it, especially since he already had another base as well. The macro was probably another one of the biggest blunders in this game, going up to 1,000 minerals at one point, or multiple points in this game, was pretty bad. But we did some good pressure early game, and I'm pretty happy with how well we did overall. So, hope you guys enjoyed this as well, and I'll see you guys next time.